Real Estate Agents. Welcome to the Weekly Closer. I'm your host, Jeff Underwood, along with my co-host, Joey Sampaga, the man with the plan. How are you doing today?
What's going on?
You know, I'm feeling like we're in a cramped space today after the... No, I'm just teasing. We got a great guest with us today, and that guest is Jonathan Miller with Realty Executives.
Hey,
how are you doing?
Excellent. Thanks for having me.
Oh, we have another guest in the house, too.
Yes.
Over in the corner.
She's in the corner.
Yeah, we had to put her in the corner. Jackie Whitney with Security Title. How are you doing, Jackie?
Good.
Hey, we might have heard her.
Yeah.
I heard her.
I heard
There
her.
we go.
Yes.
All right, okay, now you have to be quiet. No, I'm just teasing.
Well, go over there and smack him.
Hey, watch it.
I'm just kidding. You can join us if you want.
Yes.
Anytime. So, Jonathan, how you been?
Excellent.
Good. So, why don't you start off with how long you've been in the business and what got you into real estate altogether?
So I've been in the business since 2006. Got my license in August of 2006. So interesting time to get your license.
Yeah.
But,
6.
I really wanted to do this, and I was committed to it. So whether it was a great time to start or not,
What'd you do
went
before?
for it. I was working in home automation. So doing multi-room audio, internet, telephone, you know.
That was when it was expensive.
Yes.
Now it's like you just, hey, Google.
Yep.
Or
Yeah.
what's your girl's name?
Don't say it if somebody's got it. You know, Alexa.
I know.
So if anybody's listening right now, their
Mine just
Alexa
went on.
device probably just went off. Oh, did it? Oh, gosh. Anyway. So 2006, that was, that's right at the peak.
Well, it's kind of in the downward.
It started
It's
to-
kind
it
of on the
started to
downward
go
side of
down.
It
things.
started
yeah.
to get a little slower, but prices
Yeah.
were still kind of up there. It's
They
just
were.
that things started to get a little hairy, I guess.
They did.
But, so that's definitely a challenging time to get in.
Yeah.
Unless you started really jumping on the short sale bandwagon and all that stuff after the fact.
I did some of that, but I was very fortunate to get in with a nonprofit organization that did down payment assistance.
Okay.
And they're known for their community land trust program. So it just kind of it happened. I had my very best friend was trying to buy a house at that time. This was 2007, so it was a little after I started in the business. But really didn't quite have the income to purchase what he wanted. He wanted to live in Tempe, so I started researching down payment assistance programs. Happened upon this nonprofit organization called Newtown. Found out what down payment assistance programs and resources they had.
Yeah.
Also working through the city of Tempe, I found this program called the CAMP program, the Community Assisted Mortgage Program, where they offer $30,000 South Alameda, $35,000 North Alameda, and as well as this 3-to-1 grant match program that still exists through Federal Home Loan Bank. They'll 3-to-1 match whatever the buyer has up to $5,000. So, for example, if the buyer has $5,000, they could get $15,000 as a forgivable grant.
Wow.
That grant is forgiven over 5 years. It's a wonderful program.
It's a great program.
So you started researching all that, and that's kind of what...
Kind of put that whole deal together, and then I had another opportunity with Newtown to work with another client, and just kind of built the relationship from there.
Yeah.
So
So you're getting some referrals from...
yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, and like anything else, it was some of the tougher referrals.
Right.
Those first couple of deals were not easy. They were. One of them was actually negotiating a short sale with the city of Tempe. They basically accepted less on their down payment assistance funds than what were owed, and
Right.
they hadn't quite done that before because we had seen this giant run up in the market, and so that was a little bit of a challenge, and
Yeah.
you kind of earn your stripes, right?
Yeah, that's right. Now, you mentioned, too, that you're still working a lot with down
He's an
payment
expert
assistance.
now.
I
So,
do, yeah.
so what have you seen changed over the years, I guess?
Not too much has changed. Obviously, with the increase in prices, it's been more challenging to get people in homes, right?
Right.
Because you still have these income limits that you have to work with that make it challenging to get people into homes.
Yeah, absolutely.
That I think that's been the biggest challenge is that
So affordability
affordability.
is
Yeah,
still a major issue.
a major issue, and it's, especially over the last few years.
Yeah. Well, and the builders really haven't helped by building, that starter home, right? That smaller home.
No, they're not. They're not building those. It's that mid range and high range stuff.
Yeah, it seems
that
like
they're
in
building.
the East Valley, you drive around and it's like homes starting in the low 500s.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right then. So what are some of the programs? So the community
Land Trust Program, which is
So that's the one we just.
which I'm heavily involved in.
Okay.
I do the acquisition and the disposition for them. So
Okay.
we acquire the properties, sell the properties. We find income eligible first time home buyers, and
Right.
and also too, when we acquire the homes, we do a lot of renovations. So we have a minimum rehab standard that we have to make sure that homes are going to have issues, right? It's just, can we mitigate some of the issues that homes may have for at least the foreseeable future, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can we make sure that the house has a decent roof? Can we make sure that if an AC is older than 5 years old, typically we replace it. We evaluate the water heater. We evaluate all the major mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems,
Yeah.
and make repairs based on our findings
Got
to
it.
make sure that these homes are in fact really good shape for the next home buyer.
All right.
And we do that through the use of federal funds.
Okay.
So we get a certain amount of funds to do per unit, right? So when we're working with the city of Chandler, and they give us $500,000, they say do 5 houses. So basically, you break it out. There's $100,000 per house. It's a combination of renovation and then being able to reduce the purchase price of the home, right? So say we do $50,000 in renovations, we're able to reduce the price of that home $50,000.
Wow.
Got it. All right.
So do you guys have special financing for those
We
types of-
do, yeah. Actually, we work with a number of different lenders, and they offer what's called CRA financing, part of the Community Reinvestment Act. It was actually an act initially under the Carter administration, renewed under the Clinton administration, and the financing is spectacular. Most of the lenders, it's a minimum of $2,000 down, conventional loan, competitive interest rates, and in most cases, and I say in most cases, depending on borrower's credit, there's no mortgage insurance. So it's just,
Wow, okay.
on top, I mean, it's just a huge additional savings. On
Yeah.
some of these homes, that's a savings of $170, $180, $190 a month on mortgage insurance.
Right.
So it's a huge savings every month for first time home buyers.
That's great. Any other programs you work with?
Yeah,
Any-
so there's the City of Mesa program. I've done quite a few with, and that's up to an additional $30,000 to purchase a home in the City of Mesa. They'll couple that. So a lot of these down payment assistance programs you can layer, which is really cool. I mean, I just closed one where it was $30,000 in down payment assistance from the City of Mesa, and then that 3-to-1 grant match program that I was talking about through Federal Home Loan Bank. So she was able to get up $45,000 in down payment assistance to purchase a home.
Whoa.
Pretty amazing.
So do you partner up with other real estate agents? Like if I had a referral, could I say boom?
Absolutely.
Really?
But even on like those community land trust programs, I mean, we list them on the MLS and we pay a co-broke, and I'm always happy to educate agents on the program, the process, why I feel it's a benefit to the client. I mean, I take a lot of those phone calls, and I will take the time to explain why I believe in this program, why I think it's a benefit.
Is there any idea to know how many of those types of transactions are happening?
So
Or how many of those homes are being worked on at the same time?
yeah,
or-
so just Newtown alone, through that community land trust program, we do about 20 to 25 houses a year.
Okay.
So and then there's there's other nonprofits doing down payment
Right.
assistance as well, but that's just that particular program.
All right. So do you also work with any of the standard ones, right? The Home and Five and all those?
Yeah, yep, absolutely.
Because you hear those all over the place.
Sure.
So what are you doing to get that out to people?
So-
I mean, do you do some certain kind of
Yeah,
marketing
we do.
for it?
Yeah,
or
we do a
what?
lot of outreach. We do some paid Facebook advertising. A lot of people are kind of, especially right now, it seems like people are really drawn to something they see as a solution, right? With rents the way they are. I mean, I don't want to say there's like an air of desperation. It's not. I don't want to call it desperation, but it's. Hey, I need to figure something out. This rental market is wild right now. I mean, the rents are just ratcheting up, and people are like, hey, I need to figure out a solution here. So we also host classes, right? So we host a community land trust orientation at least once a month, and they're really well attended. So to kind of explain the program and
Is it in a specific area that you can only purchase these things, or is it
so
metro
yeah,
wide?
so a lot of it has to do with contracts within municipalities themselves, because the federal funding comes to the municipalities, and then they work with a nonprofit partner to do these programs.
Got it. All right. Is that when you mentioned community involvement? Is that some of the things you're doing with that too?
Sure,
I mean, is that-
absolutely. Yep. Yeah, I mean, all around, just involved in the community in a lot of different areas. And
Okay.
yeah.
Because you mentioned Mesa, you mentioned Tempe, you mentioned Chandler.
And we've done
Are
work
pretty
in,
much all cities involved somehow?
Yeah,
Okay.
and we've worked in Scottsdale. We've worked in Glendale. We have one right now in Glendale that actually just went under contract last week. So, I mean, we work all
Yeah.
over the valley.
All right. All right. Cool. Now you have a new project too that's you're kind of working on.
Yeah, that's super
right?
exciting. Yes.
That's right up Joey's alley.
It kind of is.
So, and I'd heard about this before once from somebody else on the show actually,
That's right.
about tiny homes.
Yes.
So
Well, micro estates.
Micro estates.
Get it right, Jeff. It's micro estates.
We can't technically call them tiny homes.
All right. All right. Sorry to that community out there.
Yeah.
Micro estates. So tell us a little bit. I know you can't tell a ton on it yet.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
It's still in the works.
Absolutely. So, actually, very fortunate to work with a guy named David Crummy, who is just kind of leading the take. I mean, he's just taken full responsibility for making sure that this program is moving forward, and everybody in Newtown's working really hard to make this happen.
Yeah.
But David's kind of the lead on this, and it's a micro estate community. So there'll be 13 units. Right near Rural and Apache. And it's just, we're trying to create a sense of community there. There'll be 605 square feet in that range. We're going to have community gardens.
Right.
So, and then parking is not going to be at the individual units. So everything kind of looks out onto a courtyard. We will have an ADA unit. We'll also have a community center there.
Tiny pool. I mean,
No.
micro pool.
No micro pools.
One of those little splash pools, right? Whatever those are.
But it's been a really what's really cool about this project is the excitement and energy behind it, right? I mean, we have we have people reach out from all over, right? And there's been a lot of media coverage of it, which has been really cool.
Yeah.
We've had people show up at our orientations just to talk about the micro estates. I had someone, she's a student at ASU and studying development, and she was just like so curious about this micro estates that she came to one of the orientations to have a conversation. She sat through the entire presentation just to talk about these and how we're doing it, and there's just a lot of energy around it. Also from the consumer side, we have, with not much advertising. I mean, we've got a long list of interested parties. So
So those should go pretty quickly then.
I would think so.
Yeah. Joey, when they break ground and get started, we should take the drone out there and fly it around.
should.
Only take a couple minutes to cover the whole community. No.
Up, down.
There we go. There we go. That was okay. Anyway, so have they even started?
No, we
Okay,
haven't. We
so
haven't
it's just
started
all
yet.
the
We're still trying to figure out the details. Obviously with something new like this comes challenges, and it's not that we're not going to overcome these challenges. Is that
Right.
it's just figuring out how to overcome these challenges, right?
So did the approval process, I guess, right? Isn't there? I had read some things about how there really wasn't a way to do tiny homes, right? So the smaller, that 250 to 500 square foot or whatever, just because of certain zoning and different things, and whether it really
Correct.
counts as a residence or
Correct.
what.
Yep.
So is that part of the reason 605, 605?
Well, we wanted to make them larger, just for livability too. I mean, 605 square feet is a pretty reasonable. I mean, I've been in other condos and things that are 605 square feet, and kind of the initial phase of this and trying to figure out, is that a good size? So I mean,
Okay.
I think it creates more livability. And
Well, I think that once the cities and everybody kind of gets on board with this is happening, people are going to want smaller places. Then I do think we'll see more communities pop up.
I think so too. And I think at least in for us, I think a lot of people are kind of seeing how this goes, right? How is this going to go? I think it's going to go great. I
I think
really
it will
do.
too.
Yeah. Yeah, I was reading an article. I can't remember where it was on the East Coast. I know that, but they were converting basically I think it was an old mall or
Whoa.
something like that into, and it was set up perfect to where they could put small units in there. And I remember reading the article, and they were talking about how they had a waiting list already longer, like 4 times longer than how many units they had. Wow. And they hadn't even started selling them yet because
Yeah.
people were so interested in living in a smaller place.
Yeah, absolutely.
There are a lot of
Downtown.
malls over here now that are like Paradise
Yeah,
Valley
no.
Mall is just like
I just had a conversation with an agent the other day. They're like, "What do you think about all the malls?" And they're putting education in there, right? Some places are going in. They'll put education. I said, "Well, why not make it
Tiny
for
home.
like residences?"
that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I
And
don't-
they're like, "What?"
People would just
Yeah.
jump on that real quick.
Yeah.
So anyway, because you would have your community area, right? You
Mm-hmm.
could have like a community area for eating and all that stuff.
Sure.
I don't know. Might be a
like-
That might
Good
be.
idea.
Yeah, that might be a,
be a thing
might be a
as
thing.
people continue to
Have-
buy
have
on Amazon.
Have a food court.
Oh, there you go.
Ready. Yeah. What are you gonna have today, Jeff? Oh, I'm gonna go do some Panda Express.
I'm gonna go get a slice of pizza. No.
What's it called? Sabaros or
Yep.
Something like that. I don't know. Anyway, are they still around?
I think they're still around.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
in malls.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, oh gosh. So that sounds like a fun project.
It is. Yeah.
Cool.
Very cool. Just to kind of go through the. I mean, even the. You know what? I find fun in the challenges too.
Yeah.
I mean, with anything. right?
Absolutely. Okay.
You know?
So you jumped in the business 06, obviously a challenging time. What would you tell agents today? Obviously, we're not in the same market that you started in back there, but if an agent's just getting started or maybe their business has slowed a bit, any tips that you would give an agent to get out there and start?
Yeah, I mean, this would be
Getting
tips
some business?
for new agents versus agents that have been in the business a while. The business is there, you just have to adapt, right? I think adaptability in our business is key. I mean, I look at different points in my career where I've had to adapt or change things or do things differently. And great success has come from that, right? And so I think adaptability is huge. I like you brought up, short sales, and I remember being in my office and people are like, "Oh, what are you doing those for?" Like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I only do, I only do luxury," and I'm like, well, good luck with that. You know what I mean? Like, in 2007, 8, 9.
I heard a lot of people
10.
say I don't do short sales.
Yeah, I mean, but you got to adapt.
Yeah.
And that
I haven't
adapt
seen
to
those
changing
people come to
markets.
think
That's
anymore. No.
That's a great tip. Yeah,
Oh,
adapt.
gosh.
Because there's always something good going on in real
Yeah.
estate.
Absolutely.
Something,
The
whether
business
it's
is,
renters or
the
short
business is
sales.
there. It's just you have to figure out what the business is, I mean, even in 10 working with, I worked a lot actually with City of Phoenix back in 2010 and 11, but also working with investors, right? I mean, that was a
Yeah,
huge
that's
part of my
true.
business.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Any other things you want to share before we move on to the next segment?
I don't think, no.
Get out there and hustle, right?
Get out there and hustle.
All right. You ready to get in the ring?
All right, let's do
All
it.
All right.
What's the best advice that anyone's ever given you?
Learn while you earn.
Learn while you
I
earn.
learned
All
that.
right.
Yep. So I had mentioned that I was in home automation. I had lived in Canada actually prior. Well, I lived here, then moved to Canada. and-
Beauty, eh?
Yep,
Yeah.
that's right. And I had a neighbor, Brian Lozon, and just the most amazing entrepreneur. It's one of the most amazing entrepreneurs I've ever met. Still, I mean, just like a consummate. When you meet someone who's like a consummate entrepreneur, and he asked me, he's like, "Hey, you interested in getting into home automation?" I'm like, "I don't know." And I was like, or no, he asked me if I was interested in getting into business, and I was like, "Sure." I mean, we already had a relationship, and I was like, well, "What is it?" And he's like, "Home automation." I'm like, I don't know anything about home automation. He's like, I don't really know that much either. Learn while we earn.
Yeah.
And he was right. I mean, we fumbled our way, but it was good. So
right.
yeah, learn
That's
while
great.
you earn.
While you earn.
How about a favorite mobile app?
Home Snap.
Home snap.
All right. That's
You
a good
know?
one.
doesn't it?
Oh man, like those. Hey, you're standing at a listing and showing it to a buyer, and they're like, "Well, I saw this house. A couple doors down. What's that sign all about?" And pull up the Home Snap app.
That's cool.
How
How about a book recommendation?
Man Search for Meaning.
Oh, haven't heard that one.
Yeah, that's a book. I mean, honestly, changed my life. Just how to take the trials and tribulations of your life and just turn it into a positive, and how to just go forward.
What was the name of it?
Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl.
Answers for
Man,
It's actually about his experience in a concentration camp, how he still saw the beauty of human beings in a
Wow.
concentration camp. And, you know, he goes into things about even seeing the beauty of a sunset while this man is in a I mean, it's just it's incredible. Or how you know, he saw the decency of humanity where someone would share that last piece of bread with one of his friends. I mean, absolutely incredible book. And then the second part of the book is about this theory they developed called logotherapy. He was a doctor, and so he instituted that in his practice about, you know, looking for the positive. And
All right.
yeah,
Good. They have it on Audible.
all right.
Who reads anymore, right?
Yeah.
My wife reads, I guess.
Yeah.
A lot. How about a productivity tool or software that you use on a regular basis?
Oh gosh, I mean, LionDesk, CRM.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, I've got a question for you here.
All right.
Go ahead.
This is beautiful. What is that, velvet?
Favorite sport and favorite sports team.
Oh.
I definitely know my favorite sport.
Okay.
Skateboarding.
Skateboarding.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, I
Well,
know.
instead of a team, what about an individual then?
Yeah. Tony Hawk?
No, not Tony Hawk.
Peralta.
Probably Paul Rodriguez.
Rodriguez. Okay.
Yep.
Wait, is that? Let's see.
You're thinking of the comedian.
And his dad.
It's his dad.
His dad is the comedian.
dad is the comedian.
Yep, correct.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was just gonna say, isn't that the comedian's son?
It is.
right?
Yep.
It's like a pro skater.
Yep.
That's
So,
awesome.
Yeah, I still skateboard even now.
You
So,
do?
I do.
Are you like super good?
I wouldn't say super.
Can you do
good.
half pipes and all that?
Not half pipes. No,
No,
that's
no?
that's
Quarter
that's
pipe.
never been my thing.
How about
Oh,
that
okay.
crazy one where you like one handstand, grab the board, doing all that kind of stuff?
No, never been that. It's never been.
Yeah,
my-
because there's different types of
I did it.
yeah, different types.
I did it
but-
once.
Did you?
Yeah. And he fell.
Once. I'm just teasing.
Yeah, longboard, shortboard, tricks.
Yeah. Shortboard.
All of the above?
Okay.
Yeah. Mostly at the park these days. No
Nice.
more hopping fences.
No more hopping fences.
Yep.
Okay. Rail slides and
All that good stuff.
You know, I remember watching one of the Shark Tank episodes.
Oh, I never seen
And it was a guy, I think he was in California, and it was a longboard, almost like a paddleboard
Yeah.
with wheels.
Oh yeah,
And,
yeah, yeah. And it's
so
got
you
a.
could
I
just
saw
kinda
that too.
push
Yeah.
along, and you could,
Pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think they made a deal with him actually, but
Did they?
I think you're right. And I don't remember who it was that did it. I think it might have been Mark Cuban. I think maybe. Someone made a deal with them.
somebody did. But
Tempe
yeah,
Town Lakes.
that was pretty cool.
Do it on the sidewalk and then go right into the lake.
Oh yeah, that's right. They have the
Ooh,
yeah.
There you go. What do they call that? Where you can do two things, right? Oh,
Amphibious.
John, there you go. Well, thanks for being on, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been great.
Yeah,
Contact
thank you.
info, I think.
Oh yeah, if any agents want to reach out to you and hassle you about the
Tiny homes. and
hold on
the
the micro estate,
I'm sorry, yes.
Micro estates.
or maybe about your program that you're working with for down payment. How would they reach out? to you?
Yeah, my phone number is 480-296-6683. Or my email is jonathanmiller@realtyexecutives.com.
All right, and a big shout out again to Jackie.
Jackie.
Hey Jackie, how you doing?
Thank you, Jackie.
Good. All right. Hey agents, until next time, you all take care. We'll see you later.
Adios.
All right. Good job.
Awesome.
Great.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Love that.
Yeah.